Hey there, it's Steve from Steve K's Vaping World, and I have a little sneak peek for you after this. This is my eVic from Joytech, and as you can see here, I'm showing the firmware version, which is saying 2.0. I just did, except it shut off. More on that in a second. You might have noticed if you go to Joy's site, 1.1 is the highest it goes right now in the firmware. Let's just say I know a guy who knows someone's cousin's roommate, and this thing came across my desk last night, so I quickly updated to it. I don't have the MVR, My Vapor Record, version 2 yet, or version 1 for the Mac, which is also allegedly coming out. So I just have the firmware on the eSig, which does add some nice features. There are a couple that are basically exclusive, not exclusive, but they pretty much only work with the software because you have to program it from the software. Specifically, there's a feature where you can kind of set it to start at 1 voltage and then kind of, or wattage, and then change, say where you run for 2 seconds and then go to a lower setting or a higher setting, something like that. And that won't work without the software. But there are still some pretty useful features here even without that. We'll start here. You can probably see if I get that. There we go. Focus. I know, another terrible YouTube video, somebody trying to get a webcam to focus, right? So right there you can see, I still can't figure out this left and right thing. But anyway, right there, I have this set for variable wattage, and you can see it's showing me on the bottom 2.6 ohms and 4.89 volts to get to our 9.2 watts here, which is one of the changes on the display you can do. You can now configure it to show the original puff counter, which nobody really liked. You can show this nifty little voltage resistance thing, which I'm kind of a fan of. Or you can just show the date and time. That one's kind of a kludgy display. It also shows the time only in 24-hour format. A few other features to show off here. Let me pop into the menu. So first we sleep and power off, basically the same. Whoops, I keep turning this the wrong way. So the new stuff, you see under Vapor Set, there's a new configure menu we'll get to in a second. So under Vapor Set, what we have here is the switch mode, which came in 1.1 to switch it between wattage or voltage. That has those, but if you notice, there's a couple MVR settings, which presumably allows you to set it from the software. It currently has in 1.0, you can set it, but it doesn't really do anything. So keep in there. Oops. It's kind of hard to do this backwards, so please bear with me. Home page, that's where you set, and you can see your options: puff count, date time, or V watt ohm. So we'll leave it there. The rest of the menu items are pretty much the same. So let's roll up here and go into that nifty new configure menu. A lot of these options are much more configurable, like take battery, for example. We used to have 2,000 milliamps and like 2,600. Now the defaults are 26 or 3,400, but you can also customize it. So if you have a battery in there, you can set it whatever it is. If it's like 23 or 18 or something, you can set whatever you like. I guess that's what it does for the calculation for how many puffs you have left or whatever for the power meter. So we'll hop out of there. Screen and system. I'm not going to go into both. I can show you the same thing in both. Let's go to system, because to be honest, this was the most annoying thing in the world for me. 1.1 and 1.0, it would shut off. The default was like 5 minutes. The whole thing would power down. You'd have to do the 5-click to get it back online. Now they've given you a little more flexibility here, where you have, again, I'm sorry, I really stink at this. but it goes up to 60 was where it stopped before. Now you can kind of, sorry, I know this is blurry, but your options now are never and customize. So you can set it, I have it set to never just because it always drove me nuts, but you can set whatever custom time you want, which is really a nice add. Same thing goes for the display. You can actually set it for never, why you wouldn't want your display to shut off is a mystery to me. Or you can customize it because the times, it goes from like 1 minute to 10 minutes. So you can set it for like 2 or 5, which makes a lot more sense. So that's about it for the new features on this thing. Let's see, hop up to the device menu. That's got the same stuff as usual. User info. So you can look at the version number here, which I should. Oops. So yeah, we're running 2.0. This is a beta, so it's subject to change. But that's about it. Some of they're nice, not huge differences. There's no real. It'll be interesting when I can get a hold of MVR and set that, because that's kind of the real change in functionality. Everything else is basically changes in display. A couple of nice ads, which I think a lot of people wanted. I know I certainly wanted them. So I think all in all, 2.0 is going to be a good update. We'll have to see what happens with MVR2. I hold the opinion that the version 1 is just horrid. A horrid, useless piece of software that's only good for updating the firmware. So maybe 2 will come out and do something useful. And we'll also have to see what happens on that Mac version of 1.0, if it's feature equal with the PC version, or if Mac users are going to be kind of ghettoized here in the world of computer programmable e-cigs. Alright, I've bent your ear quite enough. Check below for the links to my original review. I also did a little write-up which basically shares the same stuff on my site, so links will go down there. As for when this is going to drop for everybody, I'm not sure. They said the end of the month. Hopefully so that means hopefully we'll see this for reals in a few days. Alright guys, until next time, Steve K's Vaping World. See y'all later.